The rain had been falling for hours when Eli finally reached the end of the road. The trees closed in so tightly that the headlights barely cut through the darkness. His GPS froze and recalculated, then spoke in a flat, broken voice. "You have arrived?" The screen went black. Eli slowed to a stop. The road didn't continue. There was no driveway, no sign, just a house sitting where the forest should have been. Old, crooked, wrong. The windows were dark, but not empty. He felt watched. When he stepped out of the car, the rain stopped instantly, like someone had turned it off. The silence was so complete his ears rang. Gravel crunched under his boots as he approached the porch. A single porch light flickered to life without being touched. A wooden sign hung from a rusted chain. "Welcome home." Eli swallowed. "This isn't funny," he muttered, though no one had joked. The door opened before he could knock. Inside, the air was cold and stale, smelling of dust and damp wood. The door slammed shut behind him, locking with a heavy metallic click. He jumped, spinning around and pulling on the handle. It wouldn't budge. "Hello?" His voice echoed strangely, as if the house repeated it a second too late. The lights flickered, revealing a living room draped in white sheets. Furniture sat beneath them like corpses. The floorboards creaked not under his feet, but elsewhere, deeper in the house. His phone buzzed. "Unknown number. You took longer this time." Eli's stomach dropped. He typed back, hands shaking. "Who is this?" The reply came instantly. "You ask that every time." The hallway ahead stretched farther than it should have. Portraits lined the walls, old, cracked frames holding faded paintings. As Eli walked past them, he realized something was wrong. The faces weren't strangers. They were him, younger, older, some injured, some screaming. One portrait changed as he watched. The painted eyes blinked. The mouth slowly opened. At the end of the hallway was a door he recognized instantly, though he couldn't explain how. His hand trembled as he turned the knob. It was his childhood bedroom. Everything was exactly where it should be. Posters, a shelf of toys, a desk with his initials carved into the wood. On the bed sat a journal. He opened it. Every page was written in his handwriting. Day 3, the house responds to fear. Day 7, it knows my thoughts. Day 12, I tried leaving again. It laughed. The last entry was smeared, as if written in a hurry. If you're reading this and don't remember writing it, that means it worked. The lights went out. The whispering began. It crawled along the walls, under the floor, inside his head. Words overlapped, voices stacked on top of one another. Stay. Remember. You belong. Eli backed into the hall. The portraits were gone. The walls were bare, cracked, bleeding something dark from the seams. The floor dropped suddenly, and he fell. He woke up in the basement. Cold concrete pressed against his cheek. Chains clinked softly above him, swaying though there was no wind. The basement walls were carved with symbols, deep and jagged, glowing faintly red. A tape recorder sat on a table nearby. It clicked on by itself. Eli's own voice filled the room. If you're hearing this, you forgot again. Good. That means it hasn't won yet. His heart pounded as the recording continued. The house feeds on memory, guilt, and identity. It doesn't trap bodies, it traps selves. The more you remember who you are, the stronger it becomes. The walls groaned as if listening. I tried destroying it. Fire didn't work. Running didn't work. So I erased myself. I broke my own mind so it couldn't feed. A long pause, then quieter words. I'm sorry. The lights above flickered. Footsteps echoed on the stairs. Eli scrambled up, panic overtaking him. He grabbed the lighter from the table, noticing burn marks all over it. The symbols on the walls pulsed faster, reacting to his fear. A voice called from the darkness above. "Eli?" It was his mother's voice. "I'm here, sweetheart. You don't have to be scared anymore." He backed away, shaking his head. "You're not real." Her footsteps descended slowly. When she stepped into the light, she looked almost right. Almost. Her eyes were wrong, too still, too empty. "You left us," she said softly. "We waited." Her smile stretched unnaturally wide. The house screamed. Eli flicked the lighter. Flame danced in his hand. He pressed it to the nearest symbol. The fire spread instantly, racing across the carvings like gasoline had been poured into the walls. The basement shook violently. The whispering turned into shrieks. The walls cracked open, bleeding fire and shadow. Eli ran. He burst through the front door as the house collapsed inward, folding in on itself like it was being crushed by invisible hands. Flames shot into the sky and vanished. The forest was silent. The house was gone. Only a scorched clearing remained. Eli fell to his knees, laughing and crying at the same time. "It's over," he whispered. His phone buzzed. "Unknown number. You always say that." He looked up. The trees around the clearing creaked softly, their branches twisting, bark peeling into shapes that looked disturbingly familiar. The whispering returned, faint but patient, waiting.